Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to decode the digital handshake, that one critical moment where a random person browsing your website becomes someone you can actually talk to. We're going to look at how some really simple web pages can create this powerful guided journey that can build some serious, lasting loyalty. All right, let's start with what I like to call the handshake problem. It's this fundamental challenge that every single online business has to deal with. Your website is basically full of strangers, right? Anonymous visitors, and you have no real way to connect with them. So you've got traffic coming to your site, which is great. People are looking around. But then what? How do you actually start a conversation? How do you make that first move, that digital handshake, that turns a passerby into a real potential customer? Well, the most common and frankly, the most effective answer to that question is a very special kind of web page. It's designed with one and only one thing in mind. This right here is a squeeze page, and it's all about a focused transaction. This isn't your whole website. It's a single, super compelling offer. The deal couldn't be simpler. You give me your email, and in return, I'm going to give you something awesome, what marketers call a lead magnet. And this chart just makes the difference crystal clear. A regular landing page, it gives people options. There are links to your blog, your about page, but these are really just escape routes. A squeeze page, it's a one-way street. By taking away all the other links, it forces a decision. It focuses all the visitors' attention on the one single thing you want them to do. And as you can see here, pretty much every squeeze page that works well is built from these four key ingredients. You need a headline that grabs them by the collar, an offer that solves a problem for them right now, a form that's super easy to fill out, and a big, clear button that tells them exactly what to do next. This quote from marketing consultant Jason Whalen just nails it. The goal isn't to win some fancy design award. It's to make your offer so clear and so tempting that the person acts without even thinking about it. In this game, simplicity and powerful words, they will beat a flashy, complicated design every single time. So someone lands on your squeeze page and gives you their email. Where do they go? Well, it's the front door to the most classic kind of online sales funnel, a really simple two-step journey. This is the classic 1-2 punch. Step 1, you capture the lead. Step 2, you deliver on your promise. And that thank you page is so important. It confirms that everything worked and tells them exactly what to do next, which starts building trust from the very first second. And here's the best part. You don't need to be a coding wizard to build this stuff anymore. Tools like the ones you see here, they use these drag and drop templates. You can launch a simple, effective funnel in literally minutes. The tech barrier that used to stop so many people, it's pretty much gone. But what if capturing that email is just the first step? What if it's the beginning of a much longer, much more profitable journey? This is where a simple funnel starts to become a really powerful sales strategy. Okay, so the big idea here is that getting an email is not the finish line, it's the starting pistol. You're actually mapping out a path to solve bigger and bigger problems for your customer. You offer more value at each step, and naturally, their investment with you grows along the way. This slide just lays out the journey perfectly. You start with something free to earn their trust, but listen, the most important step here is actually the second one, that low-ticket offer. Turning a free lead into a paying customer, even for just a few bucks, creates this massive psychological shift. Once somebody has bought from you, they are infinitely more likely to buy from you again. So how do you get people to climb that ladder? That's where upsells and downsells come into play. Right after someone buys that cheap little offer, you might hit them with an upsell, a one-time offer to get your main product at a discount. If they say no, you might offer a downsell, a smaller, cheaper version, just to make sure you turn that no into some kind of yes. But what if this whole model is, kind of backwards? There's a totally different philosophy that flips this entire thing on its head. It challenges the very idea of putting your best stuff behind a gate. So instead of demanding an email in exchange for value, this approach leads with pure generosity. It basically says, hey, let me help you right now for free. If you find this useful and you want more, then yeah, let's connect. This comparison really gets to the heart of the strategic choice you have to make. The classic funnel acts like a gatekeeper, right? It's like, you can't see the good stuff until you pay me with your email. But the Trust First funnel, it acts like a guide. Let me prove to you I can help you first, and then you can decide if you want to go further. Now, the trade-off here is pretty simple. You're probably going to get fewer emails with this method, but the quality of those leads is way, way higher.
You're automatically filtering out all the freebie seekers, and you're attracting people who have already seen your value and are actively raising their hands asking for more.
So whether you choose the classic squeeze page or you go with the trust first model, whether you build a simple little two-step or a whole complex value ladder, it all comes back to one central, non-negotiable idea. At the end of the day, the technology, the page builders, the email systems, that's just the vehicle. As this slide says, the real magic isn't in the car itself, it's in the map. The real work is in carefully, thoughtfully crafting that journey that turns a total stranger into a loyal fan. And that entire journey, it always starts with a single, valuable promise. An offer that's so perfectly designed for your ideal customer that they just can't help but say yes. So the real question to ask yourself is, what's yours?